it is on the show. The first one for the week, and we'll say Happy New Weekend to you as we get into the spirit of the period for festivities. My name is Ike Nwokede, but in that spirit, a whole lot went down in the world of sports at the weekend. We'll be focusing on grassroots sports. We'll tell you about the Obisi Unity Cup competition, which enters the 8th edition. We'll also be going to Enugu and talk about the Enugu Unity Cup competition. Solution FC took on Ijebu United FC in match day 5 of the Nigeria National League. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League, the NPFL, and other sports gist on Sports Today on ABS TV. Now, let's begin with our first story. Our first story on the show, it's about the Solution Football Club of Anambra State. Yes, the Solution Football Club of Anambra State on Saturday took on Ijebu United FC. It was a match that was played at the Otumba Dipodina Stadium out there in Ijebu. Let's tell you that a solitary striker from Taufik Otani of Ijebu United in the early going was all the home side that needed to see off a Solution FC in one of the match day 5 fixtures of the ongoing 2023-2024 Nigeria National League season. 2 changes were made to the side that defeated Osun United on match day 4 as skipper David Okoye returned to the fold for Charles Ewe, who was on the bench with Charles Onwuchekwa making a debut appearance replacing Solomon Obong, who did not make the match day list. Uche Okabue's side succumbed to an early deficit as the defense line failed to stop Taufik Otani on his tracks as he befouled 2 of his markers before slotting the ball into the bottom left corner of the post beyond the Solution FC shotstopper, who tried to make himself bigger to stop the ball. Damian Nwankwo should have done better in the box after being teed by skipper David Okoye in the 23rd minute of the game, but the former miscued his glorious opportunity in the 40th minute just before the break. Joseph Onyeka had a long-range effort from about 40 yards out, saved by United goalkeeper Ganiyu Odumade, who was alert to deny the Solution boys in the second half of the game. Skipper David Okoye of Solution FC had a chance to restore parity, failing to poke home from 12 years with a poor finish after a goalkeeping gaffe by Odumade. Moments later, the United shotstopper denied Solutions Joseph Onyeka's belt, which was a goal-bound. Substitute Cosmas Oko missed a sitter and the best opportunity of the game in a one-on-one situation with his effort just inches wide off the mark after the Solution boys transited from defense to attack in a corner kick advantage for the home side. Goalkeeper Chinedu Nwebeze was alert and came to the rescue of Solution FC, denying Shegun Oloruntoba what could have been at the second of the game. The home side kept their composure, defending stoutly and occasionally embarking on a quick counter-attacking move as time ran out on the Solution boys. And Solution FC will next face a Crown Football Club of Obomosho. That's on match day 6 coming up on Friday, the 22nd of December 2023, and that match will happen at the Oka City Stadium. So Solution boys, Solution FC took on Ijebu United in one of the match day 5 fixtures, and not quite a rosy ending to that. 1-0 courtesy of an early goal they conceded as Taufik got that goal for his team Ijebu United, and Solution FC almost got a draw in that game, but it wasn't to be as they were not able to hit the back of the net. They missed a one-on-one situation, a sitter missed by Cosmas Oko, and also there was also a plethora of chances missed by the boys. But hey, they have to cheer up and prepare for their match day 6 program coming up on Friday against a team called what team we're talking about? It's a team called Crown FC of Obomosho, and of course Crown FC have a rich history when you talk about football in Nigeria. Moving away from that, let's talk about the Obisi Unity Cup competition. Obisi Unity Cup competition has kicked off, and let's tell you that Amobia United on that 13 aside on Sunday The 17th of December 2023 defeated Solar Spiders of Nibo Town by 2-1 as the Max Anglican Church Umuawulu pitch to mark the commencement of the 2023-2024 edition of the annual Obisi Unity Cup. The competition, which is bankrolled by the Deputy Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, a member representing Okasao Constituency 2, Right Honorable Chukwuma Okoye, will see the winner smiling home with a sum of 500,000 naira. And this year's edition of the Obisi Unity Cup will be played from the 17th of December 2023 and concluded on the 2nd of January 2024. And according to the sponsor, the 8th edition is a tribute in honor of later Chief Chukwudi Okafor Amulo Nyenego na Umuawulu, with the first and final matches are to be played at the football pitch of St. Max Anglican Church Umuawulu. A total of 7 communities are domiciled in Obisi Kingdom will be featuring in this year's competition, with defending champions Amobia drawn in Group B alongside Umuawulu and Isiago, while Nise, Ezina, Tonibo and Mbuhu will slug it out in Group A. In his reaction after the opening match, Honorable Chukwumokoye revealed that the Obisi Unity Cup 2023 marks its 8th edition and a special one in memory of late Chief Chukwudi Okafor. The lawmaker averred that the competition has come to stay, and in line with its objective is aimed at harnessing the footballing talent within the Obisi dynasty. Honorable Okoye pledged to sponsor 10 best players to Denmark, recognizing the significance of football in entertaining and financially empowering the youth and their community. The lawmaker pointed out that the competition serves a dual purpose, not only nurturing talent for future opportunities, but also steering the youth away from criminal activities. In a friendly match to kick off the 8th edition of the Obisi Unity Cup, Kenechukwu Nzekwe and Chibike Obasi scored for the Amobia side, while Chibike Obasi pulled one back for Nibo side, but it was not enough as Amobia ran away as the winners with a 2-1 victory. Present during the opening match were the chairman Oka South local government, talking about Honorable Tangod Anago. Also present was the MD and CEO of Oka Capital Territory Development Agency, ACTDA, OC Onuku, and the MD and CEO of B-Lot Group, talking about Mr. Williams Linus and former Deputy Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Chief Harford Oseke, High Chief Edwin Nwoye, among other dignitaries that we are here today to witness the opening ceremony of the Obisi Unity Cup competition. And I tell you that Amobia defeated, Amobia United defeated Solar Spiders by 2-1, but the real action starts today in Group A and Group B as the Obisi Unity Cup competition. You know that last year's edition, Amobia defeated Anise by 4-2 on penalties. And of course, for the fixtures you're seeing on your screen, of course, Ezinato will kickstart proceedings. Amobia will also be looking to defend the trophy they won last year. And of course, they beat Nise by 4-2. And equally, Nibo finished at 3rd position in the last year's in the 2023 edition of the Obisi Unity Cup. And we say kudos to Right Honorable Chukwuma Okoye for keeping the flag flying. This is a competition that has lasted for 8 years and is growing bigger and better. This time around, he's taking it to Umuawulu, the opening match and the final match, in honor of this man, talking about later Chukwudi Okoye. Moving on elsewhere to other grassroots football, and it's all about grassroots football this period. Let's go to Enugu. Let's tell you that Enugu Unity Cup competition has kicked off, and this is a competition being bankrolled by High Chief Dozie Okoye, known as Oba. Of course, Oba there in Enugu, and I tell you that one is ongoing right now, and the man they call Oba Iba Mego is the one bankrolling and this competition, and I tell you that the winner of this competition is expected to smile home with the grand prize of 300,000 naira. Runners up will go home with 200,000 naira, and third place team is expected to go home with 100,000 naira. In the first match of the competition, which kick-started on Saturday. Omuako Village defeated Uruobo by 2-1, and it may interest you to know that Uru Aleke defeated Aki by 2-0. And in Group A, let's tell you that Omuako are in Group A alongside Uruobo, Uru Aleke, and Aki, while in Group B has Avomimi, Uru Nebo, Uru Okwe, and Omo Balanri, and Omo Atuora in Group B. In Group C, they have Omoatolo Ire, Osili, and Orofia in. That's talking about Group C. Also, we have Enuguago also in that Group C. So Enuguago and Orofia will join our forces to produce a team. While in Group D is Urueko, Avomimi, Oji, and Uruala will be playing in the group. The Group D of this competition, and this competition will go on and is expected to be concluded sometime in the new year. And this is a competition I told you bankrolled by Chief Dozie Okoye, and of course I will try and see if we can get him live here in the studio in the subsequent edition to talk about this competition, talking about the Enugu Unity Cup. It is the second edition being bankrolled by Chief Dozie Okoye, known as Oba Ipa may go out there in Enugu. We'll continue to follow up on the proceedings on that one in subsequent edition of Sports Splash on ABS TV. Now let's talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Let's tell you that mandatory conduct of a random tester for illicit drugs on players of the Nigeria Premier Football League has commenced, as all 20 clubs have been directed to facilitate the process for operatives of the National Anti-Doping Committee. In a memo, clubs assigned by Davison Owumi, the Chief Operating Officer, the anti-doping tester. The anti-doping tester will be administered on 2 players from each of the clubs are involved in a given fixture without prior notice. And the clubs we are enjoined to extend the maximum cooperation to the anti-doping agency in the discharge of the tax that aims to cleanse the MPFL of real and rumored doping scandals. In the circular, Owumi reminded the clubs of the initiative to introduce a random test and noting. Recall our earlier memo informing all clubs of the commencement of the random drug tester on Nigeria Premier Football League players, and be further informed that we have now completed all processes for its implementation by the National Anti-Doping Committee. It further informed that the clubs over some of the requirements for full implementation of the doping checks, stating that a doping control systems office is to be activated at all MPFL stadium for this purpose, and all clubs are therefore mandated to ensure a hitch-free tester by the committee, reiterating that the tester operative must not be hindered in carrying out the task. And the memo went on to say, note that relevant operatives of the National Anti-Doping Committee will be arriving your matches for this exercise without a prior notice, except for purposes of access to the stadium, and for your players to submit to the tester when demanded. He said the test involved a collection of samples from 4 players, 2 from each of the team. The 4 players will be selected by a target testing in line with the international standard for testing and investigation and the FIFA anti-doping rules. And the MPFL insisted that it set out to implement the exercise in furtherance of the zero tolerance for doping by the Nigeria Football Federation, the Confederation of African Football, and the Federation of International Football Association, CAF, and FIFA, respectively. Kits for the tester arrived in the country recently, and selected operatives have since undergone training on its application. We hear so dope test now for players of the Nigeria Premier Football League now activated. That's what's going on, and according to Davison Owumi, that's the information coming through right now. Let's move away from Nigeria. Let's go outside the country. Let's tell you that after long-standing interest, it's been reported that Liverpool star Mo Salah will be once again be courted by the Saudi Pro League at the end of the 2023-2024 campaign. The Reds rejected a £200 million bid from Al Ittihad ahead of the current season with Salah being one of the biggest names linked with a move to the growing league in the Middle East. Reports say the Saudi Pro League will look to sign Mohamed Salah next summer, and he is a main target in the league's next phase of expansion. And following the rejected £200 million, it is believed that more strategic move for Salah will be put in place. And the same report mentioned that while the SPL's spending will slow down in the coming months with the view of securing a broadcast and commercial contract, Salah will be an exception. Salah has 1 year left on his current deal at Liverpool, and it is believed to be earning £300,000 a week at the moment, which could prompt the Reds to consider a bid for the Egyptian star. So we'll watch out for that, and let's see if Mo Salah will be staying or if we'll be going to the Saudi League, where we'll have a plethora of players moving on now for pastures anew at this point in time. And the Saudi League seems to be on the spotlight these days. Let's move away from that. Let's still focus on more stories on the African scene and talk about the owner of the DR Congo president, talking about Moise Katumbi. And let's tell you that will he or won't he? That has long been the question asked of Moise Katumbi. He is one of the most powerful people in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a man whose presidential ambitions were never in doubt, yet numerous obstacles has blocked him in the past, including a jail sentence, a death threat, and exile. Now, the multi-millionaire mining magnate and popular football boss hopes that 2023 will be the year he finally lands at the top job. Mr. Katumbi says that his prior success in boosting infrastructure and education while governor of the country's richest province, Katanga, was the pilot program for Congo. If he wins at the 20th December presidential election, he's also promising to overhaul security and steer Eastern DR Congo towards a long-awaited peace. The charismatic 58-year-old leader of the Togo Together for the Republic Party is considered a front-runner, and so far, 4 other opposition candidates have pulled out to throw their weight behind this man, Mr. Katumbi. Katumbi's critics questioned his record on transparency and accuse him of using politics to advance his personal business interests, something he has always denied. The recent unsolved murder of his party spokesman, Cherubin Okendi, plus a ban on opposition leaders protesting against the electoral body's chaotic preparation for the polls means the stakes are going into this week's general election could hardly feel higher. He was born on the 28th of December 1964 in the village of Kashowe near the Ugandan border. His Greek-Jewish father, Nissim Soriano, had fled Rhodes for Central Africa after surviving the Holocaust and married Virginia Katumbi, a Congolese Katumbe, a Luanda woman of royal birth. And the family is said to have dropped the Soriano surname in the years when DR Congo was called Zaire and ruled by Mobutu Sese Seko, adopting the more African-sounding name of Katumbi from his mother's side instead, according to reports. But the main news is that he is contesting for the presidential election coming up on the 20th of December. Let's move on now. Let's talk about other sports on the show. Let's talk about the game of golf. Let's tell you that Louis Oosthuizen completed a back-to-back win on the DP World Tour with the 2-shot victory at the Mauritius Open on Sunday. His success came as at the new La Reserva Gold Club, a course the 41-year-old South African helped to design. Oosthuizen started out on Sunday with a 1-shot lead, but boogies on the 4th and 5th holes means he was 2 over for the round early on. He regained his rhythm and managed 6 birdies, including on the par 5 last hole to post a round of 69 and finished 2 shots ahead of England's Laurier Canter. England's Daniel Brown finished another shot back alongside Swede Sebastian Soderberg and South African Jacques Pivili. Oosthuizen's win means that players from Liva Golf have won 5 of the first 6 events in the new DP World Tour season we hear. Moving away from the game of golf, let's now talk about our Formula One. As Formula One season will kick off next for the 2024 edition. We expect it to start in February with a practice session and then around a match at the event proper. The Swiss Sauber team have reverted to their original name for the 2024 season after racing as Alfa Romeo since 2019. Sauber's naming rights a deal with the Italian car brand ends this year as the team prepare for the transition into the factory Audi team for 2026. Audi does not want to be officially associated with the team until it formally enters the championship. Their former new team name also includes platforms for streaming and betting. We hear the official team name will be Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber, and the chassis will be called a Kick Sauber. And Sauber entered Formula One in 1993 and had raced under their own name continuously until they were rebranded as Alfa Romeo, and that was for 2019. They will continue to use Ferrari engines until 2026. Audi is building its own engine for the new rules coming into effect in 2 years' time, which will introduce a full sustainable net zero carbon synthetic e-fuels and a much greater proportion of hybrid power from the engine up to about 50% from the current 20% we hear in the official entry list published by the governing body, the FIA, last Friday. Red Bull's junior team was retained or has retained its Alpha Tauri name. They had been considering changing their title, but have instead simply added the letters RB as a suffix we hear. Moving away from that now, let's go to some athletics news right now. In athletics, let's tell you that a male British Olympic athlete was supplied with a banned drugs by an American therapist who is facing 10 years in jail. According to court papers filed in New York in May, Erica Lira became the first defendant to be charged under a new U.S. law introduced in the wake of Russia's state-backed doping scandals. He pleaded guilty to supplying performance-enhancing drugs to Olympic athletes, but a sentencing document filed in the Southern District of New York has given details of other athletes and coaches implicated in the case, with an unnamed British competitor also referred to. As revealed by the Times, the case is now being investigated by the Athletics Integrity Unit, AIU. The AIU declined to comment, also declined, while UK Athletics also declined to comment, but is not believed to have been informed about the matter by the AIU. Lira was found to have supplied drugs to Nigerian sprinter Blessing Okabare, who last year was banned from athletics for 11 years. A 34-year-old was expelled from the Tokyo Olympics just before the women's 100-meter semifinals after it emerged that she had tested positive for human growth hormone in an out-of-competition test in Slovakia before the delayed 2020 games. In a separate document, federal prosecutors also charged 2 American coaches claiming they worked with Lira to provide drugs for athletes from Nigeria, Switzerland, and the UK ahead of the Tokyo Olympics. I will hear Lira was charged under the 2020 law named after Russian whistleblower Grigory Rodchenkov, the former head of Moscow's anti-doping laboratory, who helped expose the country's state-sponsored doping regime. And lastly, in the world of tennis, let's tell you that Steve Simon will relinquish his role as the chief executive of the WTA Tour, but will become executive chairman once his successor has been appointed. Simon has been both chief executive and chairman since 2015, but the roles will be split to create a greater focus on the WTA's goals. His position has been under scrutiny since last month's season-ending WTA finals in Cancun, where world number 2 Aina Sabalenka said that she felt disrespected by the way the event was organized. And the 18-time Grand Slam singles champion Martina Navratilova also said it might be the time for new leadership. But Simon will still play a major part in the WTA's future. He will focus on governance, integrity, and WTA's strategic interest and the new chief executive will report to him. We here. And of course, on that note, that's just about the size of the program Sports Today on ABS TV and this Monday edition. Thank you so much for being here. The show will make a return tomorrow for another episode. Until then, my name is Ike Nwokede. Have a lovely week and remember to keep sporting. Bye-bye now.